In this lesson, we're going to be going over steganography techniques. And I know we've gone over steganography techniques in other lessons. This time we're going to be focusing on not the graphics files or image files that are pretty common for steganography. We're going to be talking about using audio files as well as Word documents for ways of storing data in a way that is hidden that you wouldn't normally be able to see. So I've got a program here called MP3 Stego, and I'm going to show you how to use that to store data inside of an audio file. Now, MP3 Stego has two components, and the first one is called encode. So I'm going to use encode to actually encode the data, and let's actually store some data into something we're going to call h.txt. And now I'm going to encode -e h.txt. That's the file to be hidden. So my in file is actually a file called disco_dancing.wave, and finally I'm going to say d.mp3 is going to be my output file. It's asking me for a passphrase, and that's so that we actually get the decoding done, and it's going to require a passphrase in order to do the decoding. So right now I'm going to erase h.txt, and now we can do the decode. So it's saying decode -x, and I'm going to say d.mp3 is going to be my input file. So d.mp3 is my input to decode. Now I could specify the name of the WAV file that's coming out as well as the hidden file coming out, but I'm just going to do this right now. So it's asking me for my passphrase, and I'm giving it my passphrase. So we've got d.mp3.pcm, which is the WAV file that has come out, and I'm going to say dir d.mp3 asterisk and see what we've got. So I've got d.mp3.txt, and I'm going to type that file out. And you can see this is data. So we restored the text file back with the decode from the encode portion. So not surprisingly, it ends up working. Now what you need as input to that is a 16-bit WAV file. So you're going to start out with an uncompressed audio file, and what you'll end up with is a compressed MP3 file with the data hidden inside of that. So that's how you might store data inside of an audio file. Let's talk about how you might store data inside of a Word document. So I've got this Word document here, and if I just bring up a preview of it, you can see that there's some text there. So there's not a lot of data there, and it's not terribly exciting. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to open this with a hex editor. I'm going to open it with a program called 0xed. So now I've got the program open in 0xed, which again is a hex editor. And what I need to do here is I'm going to go to overwrite mode, and I'm going to say this is some data I want to store so you can't see it. Now, where I'm storing this, you'll see there's just a lot of zeros there, and this is in the metadata that exists within a Word document. So I've got this file here that's just got a lot of empty space in it that seems perfectly available for storing data inside. Now you'll note that I made sure that I did overwrite mode. If I do insert mode, I'm going to insert a lot of data, and the Word document is going to be thrown off because suddenly the size doesn't make sense any longer. So I've stored my data there. Just going to bring it back up in preview, and you see it's still there. I can actually open it up inside of Word. It opens up cleanly. I'm storing some data in this file. So I can quit that. And now I can open it back up with 0xed and just demonstrate to you that it's still there. You still see it right there in the midst of all of that zeros. So inside of a Word document, there's just a lot of space that's available where you could pretty easily store a bunch of data. As I said, though, you got to go into overwrite mode and make sure you're writing over the zeros rather than inserting a lot of data into this blank space. So that's a couple of ways you can do steganography, both with Microsoft Word files as well as with audio files.